So I got it sanded, and then I got my pieces book matched. So I got them sitting here. You can just, they're sitting here because they have the longest edge on here, and I mean, the reason they're sitting here like this is because the longest edge is on here like that, and I got more weight, so I won't have to worry about tipping it over. Now on my mix here, I've already thinned this down by 10%, and I will put a coat on it, heavy coat on it today, or a moderate coat on it today, and then get the rest of it tomorrow. And we'll let it sit and dry for a while, and after it dries, I'll probably sand it down, have a nice polished inside. It's best if you can get this coated while it's apart like this, because if you want to go sit inside of a small area that just filled with oil base, it's just not going to be a very enjoyable time, because it doesn't smell the best. It's not rotten smelling, but it just, nobody wants to smell oil base for too long. I renovated a house in Galveston. I thought, well, I'll save one room and not put any polyurethane on the floor. And then I put a towel under the door, keep the smell out. And I thought, yeah, that'll do it. I wake up the next morning, boy, I felt terrible. So the rest of the whole house, I mean, it wasn't a very big house. It was maybe 2 bedrooms, but that much oil base spread around, oh, it doesn't smell pleasant, I can tell you that. You see it's already soaking in there. It's not going to look too bad for cheap, inexpensive plywood. Can't say cheap. It's not cheap anymore. $55 a sheet. It's not even in the best condition either. That's brand new plywood. Came off the shelf, scratched up. But after I put a bed in there and other things, you won't even notice it. Before wood prices got crazy, I mean, even the nicest, like the birch and the oak, in the maple, I still had to choose through that stuff. It just wasn't that. These people just rough it up. I don't know why they're so rough on the wood. It's soaking up pretty good. I might just go ahead and put me a second coat on this. So this is all done and probably cut it out, and everything that you see here probably done in a day, just not really humping it. I wouldn't say goofing off, but just kind of just moderately staying at it. So if you want a camper and you decide you're going to build one, you just stick to it and you'll get it done. So you can probably do it in a month. Also, another thing, if you seal it now while you're handling it and moving it about, you're not as likely to get any permanent stains on it. Yeah, you might scratch up your finish, but no permanent stains. It depends on how pristine you want the inside of your cabin, but if you take this and just let it cure out and then go over it with some fine grit sandpaper, dust it off, and then thin it out more, about 30%. Put your last coat on about thinned out to about 30%. And it'll look good. Just depends on how shiny you want it. You can see it's already doling up from where it's soaking in. That's just the nature of the beast. All right, so that about concludes this episode of the Teardrop Camper. And if you guys and gals will leave me a comment or ask a question, hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Thanks a lot.